What's up, quadcopter fans? untitled.com. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a repair on my JJRC H16 Tarantula X6. I have a video posted on the channel where it was flying. You can see I have a bunch of electrical tape on this thing. It's held together by its last leg. But I had a bunch of electrical tape on here, and it was rubbing against this, so I had electrical tape actually holding the motor guard on there. And from rubbing against it, flying, it ripped one of the wires off of there. This was an old soldered motor here, and when it did that, this motor completely died, fell out of the sky. Luckily it wasn't that high off the ground, I wasn't going that fast. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead and swap this motor out. So it's fairly easy to do. You shouldn't have to do this on yours, but I'm going to have to cut some of this electrical tape off on mine in order to get to the motor. So typically you would have your motor mount covering this, like this here. There's two screws. You'd stick your screwdriver in, undo both screws, and pop this off. In my case, not actually going to have to do that. So what we'll do next is we're going to go ahead and you can see here, this is where our problem is. We're going to go ahead and unplug the motor. They're just two little simple wires here. Now this wire runs right back into your ESC and your flight controller. I actually had purchased a new flight controller board, so this is the old one. So I had to take all the wires off of there to put it on to the new one here. So now that we have that off, we need to undo the prop on there. So I'm going to magnetize the screwdriver really quick. These are small little screws you'll be working with, so you're going to want to, make sure you're doing this over a table and with the magnetized screwdriver. So we'll undo the screw. I'll set that in the groove there. I can pop off this propeller. So the propeller is now off. And now I can push out the metal gear on the bottom. Now what this does is exposes two screws. You have one screw here and one screw here, and those actually hold the motor in. So these screws are extremely tiny. Like I said, you're going to want to do this over a table and with the magnetic screwdriver, because this one back here is pretty tough because we got to go in at this angle in order to get that one out of there. So that is out. So now both screws are out of there, and now we can just slide the old motor out. So this is still a good motor. I'm going to keep it, but basically what I would have to do is just solder this part back onto here in order to salvage this motor. But it still has good threads on the metal gear here, which these do wear down over time, especially if you're carrying a bigger load with your JJRC. So I have a new motor right here. So this repair is going to be fairly easy. You don't have to solder anything in order to do this repair. So we're just going to make sure our wires line up on the motor. So we're going to go in white to white, black to black, which it will line up. Now another thing to keep in mind too, let's see, turn it this way because it's a natural crease in the wire, so I won't be putting any extra stress on it. Some of these wires, like coming out of here, do need to be reversed in order for the propellers to spin in the correct direction for the motors. So to put it back together, we'll flip it over. I'm going to grab one of these little bitty screws. We got it on the first try, which never happens for me, so it's a plus. Kind of get this second screw here. Now this one's going to be tricky because we will need to go in through the top. Now, luckily this motor hasn't been used, so it won't be magnetized. So as you can see, I'm lining it up. Looks like we're in the hole. Now, I've done this a few times, as you can see from all the repair and tape on here. And so basically, next thing we're going to need to do, let's go ahead and plug these in. And make sure our wires match up, white to white, black to black. And then we'll go ahead and we'll stuff this wire down into the back part of the motor here. Now, I don't have any pegs left on here to screw in my motor covers. So in this scenario, what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have to put the motor cover on there and tape it again like it was before. It's not the best fit, but see, I have it done on this one here. It's the only way I can hold it together. You know, this was my first quadcopter in my trainer, so you know, it took a lot of the damage. So we're going to go ahead and slide this plastic gear into the quadcopter to make sure it's touching there. And then next we're going to go ahead and put the prop on. So putting the props on is fairly difficult to do. So we got to line the hole up right here with the hole in the propeller shaft. And then push it all the way down. And we'll try to look in here to see if we're in line with the hole. So the hole has moved on us a little bit. So we got to put our thumb here, push against the gear, slide that down. Now you will need to purchase new motors to do the method which I'm going to do, or I'm doing. If you don't have new motors, you're going to have to solder or correct whatever errors are needed, but you can pick a pack of 4 motors up for, I think, roughly like $8 or so. Very cheap. So we'll go ahead and screw this screw into the propeller. It's on there nice and tight. Now, since we are going to repair this, or we did repair this motor here, we'll need to actually run this at a light speed. So we'll need to charge up the battery, run it at the light speed for about, you know, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. So then that way this motor can get broken in, because it is a brush motor. And then once it's broken in, then we can start taking it for a light flight, and then we'll start cranking up the intensity on the motor. So that's a quick and easy way to replace your motor on the Tarantula X6 and JJRC H16. So if you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them in the comment box below, and I'll try to answer them as soon as I can.